Good morning, everyone. Teehashee here. If you were watching last time, we took out Grim Sybil and her great big scary quick draw. Without too much issue. We're just going through and repairing our mechs really quick after the battle. Apparently we lost jump jet. I think I remember that happening. Can't really argue with it here. And we uncovered a Centurion, which we're going to refit really quickly. It's going to take a minute to do that. Now, the Centurion is interesting in this game. We will probably give it its own episode, but since we're here doing a refit on it, we might as well chat about it. Here we pulled it out with its sort of stereotypical two medium lasers in the center torso. It's got one there. Interestingly enough, get a lot of flexibility in RogueTech versus MechWarrior 5 with this CN9 Alpha. Mostly because of these three missile hardpoints instead of MechWarrior 5 gives you one in that slot, and so it's pretty much do your best with that one slot. Where here, you can really double down on missiles. You see what I mean? And I would at least say it's a lot more interesting what you can do with this mech when you can do stuff like this. It's a lot more interesting and it's more fun, I would argue. There's a large laser in the center torso, something that you can't really do, or if you need a large laser on your Centurion, you need the CN9AL. Slap that large laser off to the side. Anyway, for now, what we would like to do is give our Centurion a long-range damage profile, and I'll talk with you guys a little bit more about why I like to do that versus its more traditional stuff. But for right now, we can do this kind of cool stuff with it. We're only going to stick one LRM-10 on it, but when we can get our hands on the greatest greatest gun in the game, the LRM-5, we'll be abusing the crap out of those as well. So our heat efficiency is still pretty solid. This is about where I like to see my heat efficiency. 30 out of 36, so we'll be gaining heat, but not too much too fast. Probably be looking to do the rest into armor. 2 extra tons of armor. Doesn't quite max it out. But it's not bad either. You can see down here the rules are Brawler and General Assault. In BattleTech, that's much more of a suggestion, but yeah, when we actually get to fielding our Centurion, we'll be talking about that a little bit. Rounds. Well, that's interesting. That's only 15 rounds. I guess I stuck 2 of them on there. We'll do some test runs and see if that's disappointing, if it's not enough ammo. Okay. So there she is. She'll take about a month. Everything else is ready to go. Let's go ahead and hit up our command center. While Glitch is getting better, we'll take Medusa with us. This is an ambush convoy mission. Now, ambush convoy missions are hard missions in this game. It's offering a lot of salvage. Might not be all that smart to go in full into salvage like that. But we've got money in the bank. We can afford to take a risk. We've got mechs. We've got pilots. We can give it a shot. Really try and spread our wings here. Ambush convoys are difficult because it requires mech lance that's mobile. But even more so than that, it requires you to fight a lot of targets simultaneously. And in this game, a frustrating thing tends to happen where you're like, your mission is to ambush a convoy, so you're thinking like, sure, yeah, it'll have mechs with it, it'll have patrol vehicles, it's defending the convoy. Then you get to the convoy and it's all demolishers. That's the convoy. It's a convoy of demolishers. And so you always, there's pretty much no exception. You always have this unpleasant surprise where you're rocking up on a column of super heavy battle tanks with mech support, and they all just, you know, merrily turn around and start shooting at you, and there really isn't any like an NPC aspect or a civilian aspect to the convoy, where obviously a convoy of only military vehicles isn't a convoy at all, it's a patrol. It's only a convoy when they're guarding some kind of special something. And there are a couple times where it's like they're guarding like a command vehicle, and That's more fun when you've got the command vehicle to shoot at. Um, but convoy missions also offer a lot of opportunities to strategize, which is good. It's a big puzzle to unpack for the player, so we're going to look at it that way. The other thing is we are yet to do a mission against pristine battle mechs that aren't coming into the combat area already damaged for us. Another thing to consider. Probably just going to reserve. The convoy is coming towards us, and we want to give them every opportunity to make. Yeah, see, these guys are pristine. Want to give them every opportunity to make their plays first. That's a Kintaro. Holy poop. Mm. So, in either this or MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, the Kintaro is a really good mech. Very capable of punching above its weight. Fast. It's just. And it's probably my favorite medium mech. I'm more akin to choose underdog mechs that aren't like super duper good, um, and mechs that you need to work with a little bit to get them to reach their full potential. But it's not hard to do that with a Kintaro. It's SRM heavy mech, which means it's pretty solid mech hunter shooting at light mechs. Um, but then you can immediately turn it around into like a flanker, something that's fast, that can hit heavy mechs from the side when they're not exactly looking for it. Oh, the other thing that you can have, and yeah, see, one of these is probably an LRM carrier, right? That's another thing that you can have happen, or one of the things that commonly happens with these convoy missions is you engage the mech defenders, you start fighting, and then you realize that one of the vehicles in the convoy is an LRM carrier, and you just go, I made bad decisions with my life by taking this mission. It was a mistake. Alright, go ahead and keep using the Shadowhawk's range profile. I need to get up on the road to force the vehicles to go around us and to be in a range profile that they don't want to be in, but I'm going to try and do that with these two mechs. Alright, just keep plinking away at that Kintaro. The only reason why I'm trying for this at all and not retreating, that's how scared I am of this situation, is to salvage a Kintaro would be huge. Tellingly, Lady Kamea, um, her command mech for the early part of the game is a Kintaro. And in many cases, she arrives alone to the battlefield, like all on her own to support you in the Kintaro, and that's enough. Her being there in that mech is good enough. More free shots on the Locust, but it's for the better. I'm gonna, as much as I can, I'm gonna be keeping the Locust running. But yeah, I can't help but feel it's early to be up against the Kintaro. And the only prospect, or the biggest prospect we have, is the chance that we might salvage it. So I like to kick it into top gear. The other thing that really sucks about these convoy missions is the frickin' vehicles can sensor lock you. I mean, I gotta move anyway because my Locust is out of evasion for a Locust. See, I think I need to flank from the rear. I would like to take them on from the front like a real man, but the fact is we're not. We're still in a Locust, so. And we also need to see what we're actually up against here with this convoy. Okay, so these are strikers. I mean, they could narc the Locust. That would be pretty bad news. Alright, probably smart to move Behemoth, especially because the Kintaro moves next. And it's not that bad a deal to have some evasion on her. We can move into these trees as well. I'm still pretty determined to keep shooting at the Kintaro until it's not a factor anymore. How sissy is that, to be so scared of the thing that you'd rather fail the mission than have it make it off the field. So it's making its play. Let's see what it's going to do. It's going to shoot at the Blackjack, and look at that. Look at all that damage. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Mostly because of course, all the Blackjack's damage comes from the arms, and so. Anywho, we'll jump around with the Blackjack some and try and keep it in the fight as much as possible. Hopefully we can deploy it since it's taken the most damage in this fight against. At least his heat's up. Probably not going to make that shot because it's shooting the wrong side of the mech. We could shoot at the Javelin. Javelin hasn't taken any shots yet. Or we could start shooting at the convoy proper. This galleon is up in front. We've got a decent enough shot at it. Yeah, you say that, but probably going to be super aggressive with the Vindicator, not because I think it's particularly smart, but because the Vindicator still has its small laser on it, and we could actually get some stuff done with that. With Decker at the helm. Okay, good chance of killing it. Might as well just try and kill it. Yes, thank you, Darius. Very interesting. I shot at the Locust slightly less this time, which is not much of a comfort, but it is a comfort. The fact of the matter is, all the Kintaro has to do is turn around once and shoot at it, and that's going to be GG. Okay. We still have enough evasion. We will reserve once. There goes the Javelin. I can fly a little bit. Shooting up the Vindicator. They still didn't shoot at the Javelin. And then Kintaro again is about to make his move. Blackjack still has his evasion. These guys are still headed over here. The route is probably something like this. I'm not exactly sure. Give ourselves a new perspective on the battlefield. And then we're just going to jump into these trees. And keep working on this convoy, it seems, since this is coming together. I think we'll do a... Ugh. It sucks, because we're going to want those precision strikes to kill this Kintaro. But if we're missing stuff, it's pointless anyway. Here's the Kintaro making his play, walking straight at the Vindicator. He missed most of his shots though, so there's that. He's also moving very little, which we're happy to see for the most part. Because I'm pretty much determined to get shots on him every turn as much as possible. This kind of play is really what's going to give our Locust time to shine. So we'll probably get in there and take another vehicle out and then really be able to focus on our targets. Probably going to hit this one because he's still on the road, and that road advantage is going to be crucial. So hopefully we can just take some of this stuff out. Give him a little stompy stomp, a little shooty shoot. Alright, Kintaro. It's you and me. Looks like we still got a very solid shot on his flank. We don't really need to turn around very much. The one thing we really can't have is to let that Kintaro continue its pressure on the blackjack. Because that's what it really wants to do. She's still cool, I think. I'll turn her guns on. Alright, Medusa. I would like to bend him around the other way to make the shot, but I can't, so... What other shots are we looking at? This thing is damaged. This thing is damaged from the rear. No, I think we'll shoot at the Kintaro. Nice shooting, Medusa. Holy poop. Ooh, they're turning shoot at the Locust. That's very exciting. Mostly because we want the Vindicator to get a break from getting shot at. Narc attached. Pretty bad news. Yeah, you say that. Locust still has its evasion, and I need to move the Vindicator because he's about to take all the shots this turn. One of the guys that I don't want to be getting shot is about to be very popular, so there goes the Javelin running past the Kintaro to do more shots on our blackjack. It's my guess that they would like to focus on the blackjack this turn. This Kintaro perpetually at its heat limit. I mean, the Vindicator can take another hit where the blackjack really shouldn't be taking more hits. So... we also got kind of bad options up here in terms of jumping into good defensive positions. So let's jump around like this. We'll give ourselves a little rotate. Maybe that'll make a difference, because that arm is about to fall off. Legs falling off. This is what we were expecting, mostly because the Narc is attached, and it makes sense. Narcs, if you don't know, make your missile strikes more accurate. It wasn't the worst, so we'll continue to try and make some plays. We'll bring our small laser to bear. This is the wrong side of that thing to be shooting at. That one got shot in the butt. This thing hasn't been shot at all. Okay, so we're going to turn off these weapons and use our lasers. Okay. shed a little bit of heat and gained evasion. That's the name of the game for right now. Behemoth's jump capability is still a little poo. But we really need to close into melee distance. That's not the absolute worst. This also is a good showcase for why, especially with the Shadowhawk, having multi-strike on just everyone is a good idea because it makes you get more out of your turn. But I think we're ready for a precision strike, and we'll try and take that leg out and just... Yeah, it didn't matter because she can't really see it. So if any of you are wondering why she couldn't really make that strike, it was for that reason. She can't see it because of those rocks in the way. But that's okay. We're gonna keep being an asshole about it and see if we can't knock it over. Kill the pilot. It's not a bad way to get salvage. If we salvage that Kentaro this mission, and that's the thing, that's the only thing we salvage, that would be huge. And our odds of salvaging more than that are pretty good, so. Okay. These guys are going to keep running, which is fine. The Kentaro officially has too much on his plate, which is good. And hopefully we can kill the pilot. Pretty sure it's a recruit pilot, so they die very easily. Hopefully we can kill the pilot now that it's lagged, and we'll kill it just by beating on it enough. We'll save T. Javelin is still a factor. He's having his own heat challenges though. And the Vindicator's probably at its limit for survivability at this point. It looks like we have the opportunity to punch that thing in the back, which would really, really shock it, I think. Also be giving a good shot to the Kentaro. So in that case, we'll probably wait and give the Kentaro its time in the sun to get up. Probably leave the blackjack as is. Again, they should continue shooting at the blackjack because it's badly damaged, but we've forced a situation where it's kind of an impossible choice, which is what we want to see. In fact, no, we should jump the Vindicator. It has no evasion. And it's going to keep getting shot at. I think we have our plan. I think it's going to seem insane that we're going to stop shooting at that thing right now when we've got it on the back foot, but that's what we're going to do. That's still too hot. We could multi-strike. We could do that. Yeah, it would look something like that. Get some free damage in there. This is bad news. Because they're probably mechs. Alright, here's the Kentaro back in action. taking a shot at the blackjack, which, again, he's going, I need literally any shot on that arm. That's the angle we want to maintain. Oh, that wasn't a jump. Whoops. Crap. I seem to do that a lot in this game, where I think I'm telling it to jump and you just kind of walk over there like it's no big deal. Might be time to force him to pay attention to us. This death from above is very tempting as well. It's a mistake, though. What would be best is to... I mean, we've got full rear armor. Why don't we just walk up and smash this javelin in the back? Oh, this is a death from above. Okay. Well, there's that. Yeah, that's... Sorry. It's because I'm not very smart. Greatest mistake in command ever made. We're just gonna keep trying to make him turn around and look at us, especially after that death from above that I didn't really intend to throw out there. It must be a panther. How teetery is this thing? There we go. Pretty sure we killed the pilot doing that, which is what we were gunning for. Now we can bring our melee attacks to bear with pretty much nothing to fear. What we'd like to do is we'd like to step on this one that we were shooting at its butt. Dum da dum da dum da dum. Oh my god, we might actually win. A little tough getting the angle on this guy, but it seems possible enough. We'll turn around. Actually, we can show these guys our back, which isn't the worst thing ever. The big thing about mech combat is when to show the enemy your rear. I think it's a big thing in vehicle combat at all, in all cases, but I just don't know that much about that kind of art. I mean, this is an Alpha Strike. It's way more than what we need to kill this thing. But I want it dead. Okay, so we can run, and we're very close to the extraction point as well. It looks like a full lance as well that's coming in. Teehashee can wait, he's not in any danger. It's our boys in front that we need to deal with. I'm pretty sure this is a Lance of Light mechs, but that doesn't make a lot of difference if they're breaking our stuff anyway. Let's get Teehashee up here. We need him in sensor range so that we can sensor lock that spider. There we go. Now we can bring the Vindicator to bear on him. We got lots of precision strikes, so there's not much to fear with that. Looks like we still just want everything. We want the Vindicator squared off against danger because it's pretty evenly damaged, which was good luck. Go for a yellow headshot with the PPC. Okay, what happened to Behemoth? Yeah, both legs are exposed. Yeah. Best gambit I didn't intend to make. Best ever gambit. Pretty much can jump her with impunity. Precision strike. We'll just double down on center torso. Try and get these guys damaged as we retreat. Blackjack is looking a little toasty. Also, I'm well aware that the Blackjack is still a very tempting target for the bad guys. Well aware. I mean, next turn everyone is going to be within sprinting range of evac, so maybe there's something in the circle that we can use. I mean, that's 4 evasion. Technically losing heat making these shots, so why not? So that's another javelin. That's the one with the SRM6s. Did that knock the arm off? It's very scary. Let's reserve There's the Panther. More of a precision mech. Yeah. There's a Locust. Much less of a precision mech. Short range, though. Yeah, shot at the Vindicator. That's good. It's almost guaranteed that we're going to break something. Ooh, we can't make it in a sprint. Oh boy, shit's getting real. Okay, so we're going to move the Blackjack again because they're definitely going to keep shooting at it. I would. Give it most of its back with the torso twist to shoot at. It's like anything. A look, a sneeze would knock that arm off. Those were good shots. He was smart and immediately started wiping evasion back off of the Blackjack. They want it. They want it real bad. But we are also smart. Maybe not as smart, but we are also smart. Probably better just to square off against these guys. Try and take you out of the fight. We might use the Vindicator for the precision shot. That looked like center of mass anyway. Yeah, that's what she said. Here we go. Not your best hour. Locust doesn't have jump jets, so overextending with it would be a mistake, especially if it's the thing that keeps you from evacing. We don't need to brace. We can sensor lock. We're probably within jumping distance of the javelin. He's not making that play though. We're starting to wear down. Nice shot. I know, we're trying to get out of here. Again, MechWarrior 5, you only need one unit to evac all of your units. But you also don't control all 4 of them. Not exactly, at least. Okay. I think we're ready to get the hell out of here. We're just going to stack a little bit of evasion just in case. Got him. Doesn't really matter who we shoot at this point. We still haven't broken anything, so it's funny, if we overheated the mech, our parts would definitely fall off. There we go. So it's instant. I wasn't sure if it was at the end of the turn or if it's the second we walk in the circle, so that's nice. We didn't lose anything, and our salvage was probably, well, we'll find out, you know? We destroyed one of the escorts, gave us a little extra money, that's nice. Took some legit damage taking risks, but we got it done. And we got the entire Kintaro. That's scary. That's huge. First Kintaro scene, first Kintaro got. Other thing to consider about the Kintaro is that it's a fairly rare mech. I don't even know if we have any SRMs that we're packing. It probably doesn't matter because we got a bunch of salvage, but we're gonna, well, or we could just double down on salvage and let God work out the rest. Let's see. LRMs, SRM ammo, okay. So yeah, huge haul, massive success. So Kintaros are pretty rare in both games. In MechWarrior 5, in this game, it's hard to come across a Kintaro, and it's even harder to come across a Kintaro when you need them, like when you're in medium mech zone. He's right about his assessment. It smashes things, but it runs hot. No empty bays for the Kintaro. We'll probably cold storage the Locust. It's our least useful. Okay, well you guys, if you want, you could stick around for another minute and watch me repair mechs. I'm not gonna do another mission this time around. Let's check our barracks as well. Actually, we might want to wait until Glitch is healthy again. Probably gonna leave the blackjack as is. I mean, you can comfortably take one or two medium lasers off the blackjack because it's just too hot. Like, you just can't shoot them all and jump, which you need to be doing with the blackjack. I might actually do refits, so that'll be something fun to watch. You can watch me do very simple, unimpressive refits. It's got 4 jump jets, which I think is its max. And I think we will leave three. Already a pretty big improvement on heat. Let's repair all, and we can max armor a little bit. And put it into rear armor, which is not where we want to see. Yeah, those armor mechanics are always a little tedious. Probably just gonna leave it as is. Because it's either more armor or stick another heatsink, but removing the medium laser serves both purposes. So I think we'll just go with armor. Time to do the refit on this guy and take off its small laser. Wherever it is. Oh, it's on the left arm. It's usually mounted on the head. This arm can mount lasers too. That's interesting because the Vindicator 1R is much more versatile in this one than its predecessors. Let's look at missiles for a second. Got our Holly SRM2, one SRM4, and two SRM6s. Because I'm kind of tempted by something, just to check something at least. This is going to be like some theory crafting. So if we put an SRM6 on it, and some SRM ammo, leave it jump capable. Oh. Do we have no? No, I'm insane. For a second there, I could have sworn it was going to tell us that we have no medium lasers. But like, look at this. This is, again, you guys know my axiom at this point. If it mounts 4 medium lasers, it's a good mech. And like, look at this block of stats. It's basically a polyrath. I know anyone who's sitting out there is going, you realize that polyrath is actually kind of bad, but I like it. It doesn't have to be the best. And we're sitting at 42.5 just by shedding the PPC and the LRM, making it into much more, but that is kind of funny. That's what it says. It's either fire support or brawler, and we're leaning much more heavily into brawler. But this is pretty solid. It's still got its heat sinks. It's still got its jump jets. It's maxed on jump jets. We're gonna max out its armor. We could give it yeah, its armor is maxed. We could give it 2 small lasers. So that it could participate in melee combat. But we're probably just going to want to shoot guns. We can leave it in that medium range potential. Having a long range gun is much more important in MechWarrior 5 than this game. Mostly the reason for that is especially like one LRM5 on a mech is actually pretty decent for taking out VTOLs and stuff like that. But in this game, not only do you not really fight that kind of enemy, it's a lot easier to close on enemies because it's all about terrain and map management than like MechWarrior 5. It's all about line of sight. Which again, you could argue that they're the same thing. They're not, but you could argue that if you really wanted to. I just can't see too much that's wrong with this. It's basically a Shadowhawk, but good. So I think we'll build that. I like that. Speaking of our Shadowhawk, but bad. Look at all of these hard points for ballistics. That's crazy. As we know, we have way too much heat efficiency, but we also have an LRM-5, so that's great news because we're going to do that. We're going to drop that SRM ammo because that's silly. And you can easily turn this thing into a very solid fire support mech. Give it an LRM-10, drop the autocannon 5. Might not even take an autocannon at all. You get to drop the autocannon's ammo as well. That's also very interesting. Again, another pretty solid excuse, especially with the Shadowhawk's insane melee damage potential to... So you're going to see funny stuff, because you're probably going to see me turn my Shadowhawk and my Vindicator into these short-range mechs, and you'll probably see me turn the Kintaro into long-range mech. Though the way the Kintaro is as stock, as standard, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good that way. So what we could do is we could put 2 SRM2s on it, give it some torpedoes, drop the medium laser, put on a small laser. I know someone's screaming right now. We're working on it. Okay, we're doing a thing. Because I like this hardpoint system, because that's an SRM6. Only I can turn some of them on and off to decide if I don't want all of them. I like that system. This thing can mount 5 jump jets, which we'll probably do an AC2 instead for range. And then we'll get 2 more jump jets. Oh, that's for, oh, whoops. There we go. We've got another 5 tons. It's going, my firepower, what did you do to me? Your firepower was already terrible. Don't give me that. Armor is looking adequate. We've got our mobility where we need it to be. Oh, how about some SRM ammo? That does make sense, doesn't it? Yeah, now it's like, ugh. How many rockets? 100. I probably carry 1 more. But I bet that's alright because we're going to be smashing stuff. Like, even if you're in SRM range, if you're in range to be throwing those fisticuffs, that's what we're going to want to do. No, his back armor is huge. We're going to start shedding that back armor. There we go. 65, 65, 65. That's what we like to see. Not a bad refit. And we're pretty well within this role. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter, but it is fun to think about it. Alright. Oh, and the Kintaro comes because of our settings. This is probably a thing. You know, someone is probably upset by this because the way that we set it up is that if you salvage a complete mech, it comes with all of its guns. Um, where in like MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries or in one of the difficulty settings of this game, when you salvage a complete mech, it does not come with any of its guns. It doesn't come with any of that stuff, which is more realistic. Obviously, you took that wreck off the field, but like, look at the thing. So when we defeated this mech, we killed its pilot. So why wouldn't it be pristine? Um, anyway, so this LRM is coming off. And why don't we just look at what our LRM situation is? 2 LRM5s, 5 LRM10s. Because realistically, we're probably going to make this thing be a pseudo trebuchet. Mostly because even compared to the trebuchet, where the stuff is on the body of the mech is better. Like 2 lasers out on the arms, where the trebuchet normally mounts an LRM-15 on its arm. So when you lose that arm, you feel very silly. Or this one, I mean, it's got 2 hard missile hard points on the arm anyway, so we might lose it anyway. But hopefully you see what I'm saying. That's already an LRM-20. It's already going. That's heavy. And we've got hard points to spare. That's 25 there. The rest could realistically be ammo and heat sinks. We got 3 tons. Yeah, that's 2 racks of ammo, 1 heat sink. Yeah, just like that. Again, you've got this kind of like block of stats. It's saying like, oh, my firepower, boo. But we're going to be fielding a spotter and, you know, dropping that hate is what we want to see. We're going to look at this for another second, just in case I mean, we do have the SRMs. To make it a proper Kintaro, we have the SRMs. Sort of. We know what this configuration looks like for right now. We're gonna play with it now. So out on this arm, we'll stick an SRM2, SRM4, SRM6. Pretty much at the firepower we were with the LRM carrier, with better heat efficiency. Gives us about 5 tons to play around with. I think we could return, set another SRM6 on it. That would be 2 tons of SRM ammo. And the addition of 1 heatsink. It's still not the worst. Still not the worst thing that we could build. If I had things my way, I would utilize some more SRM2s so that you can really like customize how many rockets you're firing. Because again, if you're not firing all your stuff, what's the point of the heat sinks, right? Uh, it's the same. You can carry less guns or more heat sinks, but if you're not firing all of your guns, why are you mounting them to begin with? Because you don't have the heat capacity. So anyway, um, I lean, I err on the side of heat capacity. I'm sure that's big boring for everyone. It's very fun to watch the incredible death from aboves and everything else like we got on that last mission. But why is our weight so insane? Probably from the additional armor we tacked on. That's an LRM-20 going into battle. This game, it's much more, also much more important that you're fielding that an LRM boat. See, we could probably also lose this heatsink this time around. The reason for that is you're not going to be firing the medium lasers and the LRM-5s at the same time. I'll show you how I like to do that strategy down the road. Got another LRM-5 kicking around. That's too many LRMs and not enough ammo. That's an LRM-15 and one rack. Did we ever get a narc? No, we never did. It seems like I want the other LRM-5 to stick on there. We just don't quite have every last little thing that we want yet. Too early, too poor. What to do with this slot then? No, I'm gonna change my mind again. Go back to regular Kentaro mode. Am I? Am I? Someone's got to be screaming, what's wrong with that? That works. It's an LRM-20 at the very beginning of the game. LRM-20 and 2 medium lasers. What more do you want? even then, our armor situation is not that bad. Our heat situation is a little bit different story. Even then, it's more heat efficient than it was. Very, very funny that that's how hot the Kintaro runs. I think we're pretty much happy. We have pretty much the same armor that it had. Its melee potential isn't all that great, nor does it matter for this mech. If I could have everything in the world that I wanted, more heat efficiency, but are we really hurting that much for heat efficiency? Like I could put that one heatsink back on there. It's taking the armor off the legs, which is a little annoying. Let's drop this down to 65. There we go. $70, $90, $90. God, that's annoying. But that's what this button does. It annoys me. It's gonna complain. Okay, we did it, folks. Glitch has still got 20 days out of action. Probably run to the command center and pick somewhere to fly, just to give that stuff some time to cook. Let's look at the star map. We got an interesting star map here. You know what? I'll talk about this star map next time when we do this this travel.